Hey everyone, welcome back. Excuse my daughter has not gone to sleep. We are past her bedtime and she is having trouble sleeping, so I apologize for that. Please also excuse I'm recovering from a sty in my eye. It looks a lot better right now than it did just a few hours ago. So I was almost not going to go live, but please don't stare at it. I'm a little self-conscious of it. I'm looking at it myself right now. Anyway, United States men's national team. Here we go, playing against Australia. We've got 6 new faces in the lineup compared to the Ecuador game on Friday night. Haji Wright, at the leading scorer in the English Championship, is the starting striker. Not Flo Balogun or Patrick Agyemang. We've got Weston McKennie and Tim Weah. Weston McKennie and Christian Pulisic are in the two forwards underneath the striker. Forward wingers, inverted forward winger, whatever you want to call those positions. And then across the four, we have Tim Weah starting at right wing back again. In the middle, in the double pivot, we have Christian Roldan and Julian Sands. Julian Sands is his first ever minutes for Mauricio Pochettino, so that'll be interesting. But he's getting a look. He's getting quality time in the Bundesliga with St. Pauli, so he deserves some minutes here. He's getting the start tonight after Tanner Tessman and Aiden Morris did a solid job against Ecuador. On the left wing back, we have Alex Freeman. Freeman came in late in the game against Ecuador on the right center back position, but he sort of played. He was moving forward a lot. They were mixing and matching. Freeman is getting a look on the left. I don't think this is an indictment of Max Arfsten, so to speak, but I think it's just showing Freeman, if he can deputize at both wingback positions, maybe there is a spot for him on the 26-man roster. I think that's what Pochettino is trying to check out right now. You've got in the back three, Tim Ream is not starting, and Chris Richards is the center back. On his left, we believe, is Mark McKenzie, and on his right is Miles Robinson. Robinson got to start another quality appearance in the back line. McKenzie's getting a start here. I think that's great. Let's get these guys minutes. If Ream is our left center back at the World Cup, we already know Richards is pretty much the central back. We need to know if McKenzie or Miles Robinson or Cameron Carter-Vickers, who's on the bench tonight, we need to know if these guys are one, can any of them be considered a starter, and two, who can be the number 2 spots for all 3 back positions. So I think those are up for grabs here. It's very interesting. I'm a little surprised that Matt Freese is starting in goal. I thought maybe Matt Turner would get a look in this second game of this window, and I think that goes to show you that Pochettino is really set on Matt Freese being the number 1 right now. Turner's in camp, but Turner is not. He's not here. He's not starting, and I kind of expected him to start today. So we're going to see how the interplay of Haji Wright, Weston McKennie, and Christian Pulisic works up at top in the triangle. Christian Roldan has been serviceable in that midfield position since the last window when he got the late call up. And then we've got, again, Julian Sands. It'd be very interesting to see. He hasn't played for the United States national team in over 2 years, and he had a bad injury last spring at St. Pauli's, which may have probably prevented him from getting any looks this past summer. So that's what we've got here. I'm excited. I'm excited for Haji Wright up front. Let's see if what he's been doing in the Champo translates. And then I'm kind of expecting Patrick Agyemang to be his sub in the second half, whether 60 or 70 minute mark. I think Wright will get a nice run here, but I think, Pochettino obviously likes Ajimong. He was his number one striker, even ahead of Wright before Wright got hurt during the Gold Cup run. So Ajimong has got the most minutes, I believe, as any striker under Punch. And it's very interesting. I want to see who our subs are tonight. You don't bring Cameron Carter-Vickers over from Scotland without at least giving him some minutes. So I expect him to come in for either Robinson or McKenzie or even Richards in the back line. Maybe Richards, doesn't have to do the full 180 of both games here. Australia, solid team. They're in the World Cup next summer. This is a team that could be in the group with the U.S. and be like this is a team you're going to need to get a result against, whether it be a tie, preferably a win, get the 3 points. This is the kind of team that is a peer of the United States. We think the United States is ranked ahead of Australia, and we think the United States is better than Australia, but Australia just went up to Canada and won last week. So not a big. This is just like the Ecuador game. You need to show progress. You need to show this tactics, the strategy of the back three is really, which seems like this window, we are dead solid on a back three now. Pochettino is pretty. It would take a lot to change him back to a 4-2-3-1. I think we just don't. Our personnel doesn't mix as well in a 4-2-3-1 as it does with a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1. However you want to identify everyone. So we got kickoffs about to come up. We're in Colorado. Australia just won in Canada, so I don't think it being a little chilly in Colorado is going to matter much to the Socceroos. And they're showing right now Brad Guzan announced his retirement today, and congratulations. What a true American player. Obviously, he played several years in the Premier League, Aston Villa, and he's a good goalie. He's, I believe, been Atlanta United's goalie the entire run since they joined Major League Soccer. So what a career for him. He backed up Tim Howard for a long time as the U.S. goalkeeper. And Jurgen Klinsmann made him the number one when Tim decided to take a break. And Tim had to kind of fight to get that back. So Brad, admirable from a long line of good goalies that the United States has produced. And we're hoping, Matt Freese, Matt Turner, maybe some of the younger fellas, Selin Tao, Santano, Diego Kogan, or Gagasolina. Maybe one or more of these goalies can step into those shoes that have been left by the Tim Howards, the Brad Guzans, even the Nick Romandos, or Brad Friedels, Casey Kellers, Tony Miolas. Such a good long line of U.S. keepers, and it's a position that's been a little more fragile in the past few years since Howard and Guzan kind of left the mold. The players are coming out onto the pitch. Captain America, Christian Pulisic, is wearing the armband tonight. And we'll see. Can we see more? I think what Haji Wright brings is a really good head for pressing the ball in the back third, in the final third. This is what Coventry City does under Coach Frank Lampard. And I think that'll suit what we're doing here very well with the United States men's national team. The interplay what are we going to see between Wright, Pulisic, and McKennie in that front three, and how will we even see Tim Weah in the right wing back even make more of a push than he even did against Ecuador? A lot of little things to see here, and I think it's crazy. Like a month ago, after the South Korea game, the sky was falling for the fan base and some of the intermittent pundits out there, and I think we are in a much different place right now. We are kind of exciting to see where we're going, and it's a little sad to see that Anthony Robinson and Alejandro Sendejas are not available tonight for fitness reasons. I mean, started getting a little worried about Jedi, and he had knee surgery in May, and he has yet to start a Premier League match for Fulham. It would be an interesting. Well, boy, I gotta stop saying the word interesting here. It'll be intriguing to see, will he get a call next month for the 2 friendlies in November before the end of the year. I think now is not. We know if Anthony Robinson is fit and in form, he is one of our best players, and we need him to get that. We need him to get there. We need to see what in this left wing back position, what he looks like there. We need to see that, and it's a shame we couldn't get to see that this window. Although I was surprised he made this 26-man roster for this window, because he just wasn't playing enough at Fulham to, I think, warrant coming over here. Maybe this was the plan the whole time, was just, hey, get into practice, get a feel for the formation, get a feel for playing with some of these guys that maybe you haven't played enough with. Maybe that was the whole point. And if so, then kudos to Pochettino that listen, I know I'm going to need Robinson next summer. If Christian Pulisic's my 1, Robinson's my 1A on the level of player that we have. And I need this guy ready. If at least here he's trained a little bit, but his mind is in there. He's in the room talking about strategy. He's in with the fellas, getting that camaraderie back, because we haven't seen him with the team in a while. And since the Nations League quarterfinals against Jamaica, when I think maybe a little bit of the seeds of what this back three with wingbacks, progressive wingbacks, I think when Pochettino was experimenting with Robinson coming from his left back position in the back four and more kind of coming into play and progressing forward, maybe Pochettino said, all right, well, if things aren't working in the back, or if we're not coalescing, then maybe he could spearhead a 3-4 setup coming from the back, coming from out of the left. And I'd love to see him in camp again in November, but I'd rather see him get just some playing time. I want to see him get some starts for Fulham. And if he's not playing any minutes this window for the US, then I don't know when he's going to start Premier League games for Fulham. I believe he started a League Cup game, and that's about it since he's been back with Fulham, and he's played sparingly off the bench. But this is like where we want to be right now. I don't think after last March after the Nations League disaster, and maybe like those friendlies against Turkey and Switzerland, and even the South Korea friendly, the Gold Cup roster, which was the main roster of who played in those friendlies against Turkey and Switzerland. The Gold Cup, it was a good run by some players that got noticed and are on the radar for the World Cup. I mean, that being Matt Freese, Chris Richards was already considered a starter, I believe, but I think he is now like a captain candidate. He is that happened at the Gold Cup. Patrick Agyemang made noise at the Gold Cup. Malik Tillman showed he can be a starter at the World Cup with his Gold Cup performance. And I think Pochettino almost overused him a little bit. It made it delayed his debut with Leverkusen after the £30 million move from Eindhoven to Leverkusen. All right, we're about to kick off. I'm going to turn on I want to hear the commentary, my boy Kyle Martino. And Kyle made a couple of caps himself for the team. My first job was covering high school soccer in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And Kyle, the 1 year I covered boys soccer, high school soccer, Kyle was a senior at Staples High School in Westport. And he won the Gatorade National Player of the Year that year. I think he had a good season with Staples, but I think he mostly made he had made such of an impression away from Staples during his year away playing at the Bollettieri Academy in Florida, and then playing in Europe with U.S. youth national teams and the like. So already, I guess I thought Tim Weah was going to be on the right and Alex Freeman on the left, but it's the other way around. Weah's on the left, and which he's somewhat familiar with. I think that's more because we don't want to put Freeman in a position he's not used to, and he's playing on the right. So excuse that.
Taking back three, the first time that we've seen Miles Robertson, Chris Richards, and Matt McKenzie play alongside each other together the starting lineup for the United States. That's part of the US one. It's very difficult to break them down. That'd be basic. This is an opportunity to read that. Charlie said, with hit it on deal, plays at MLS with New York City FC, the 27-year-old midfielder. I think he's a 25th cap today. Conversation there with Clipsy Williamson, who gets that free kick away.
Aiden O'Neill, some NICFC on NYCFC.
But he saw that night the keeper made 8 saves. Australia scored with their only shot on target.
Bumps into Julian Sands, who is still part of the NYCFC family. He's on loan to St. Pauli. Oh, that's a handball. All right. So far, we're just 2.5 minutes in, and a little good flow between Mark McKenzie on the left with Tim Weah in the left wing back. I think we'll see a lot of that since Timmy's on. I mean, now you've got, how is that connection going to work from McKenzie when you got Weah and Pulisic, who are obviously really good friends and have played together a lot for a number of years with the U.S., how that works.
Freeman is chasing forward.
Freeman was playing right center back in his limited time against Ecuador, and now he's getting into more the right wing back position, and that'll where we can embrace more of his speed there.
Das ist das Wort, my positions. Lovely passes to that.
U.S. dominating possession so far.
She crossed the back for Roberts. It's not the McKenzie now. Since the June loss against Switzerland, Philadelphia, in Nashville, as he's on the ball, Mauricio Pochettino tries to get to the technical area, 13 forward, throw down, has it down halfway. Checks it down the left towards way. Big way playing primarily on the left in finding passes now get to be sales of themselves, get that rallies.
Yeah, the U.S. already 4 minutes in. Looks like we're going to push that left side with Weah and Pulisic. And why wouldn't you?
That church of Australia took over where Arnold departed from after World Cup qualifying. Popovic has it lost since taking charge in September of 2024. He's played 11, 1-8 and 0-3. He's had any coach of the year. The chicks and band.
James Sands. I was calling him Julian Sands before, the actor. Sadly, Julian Sand, the actor, died on a hike, I believe. They didn't find his body for a long time.
World Cup semi-final against Panama 2023. Flags up offside here.
One of those actors that plays a really good bad guy. So James Sands, excuse me. I'm sorry, James. This is no Red Bull NYCFC hate from me, Logan. I'm a Red Bulls fan, if you guys didn't know.
Australian midfield tonight as well.
New York Red Bulls. All right. Ooh, nice little back heel pass from Weah.
What you catch him on Friday having the answers about the right as the back in, having knocked that on the last 3 months today. It's back with everyone visited directed on
Yeah, and please excuse this sty right here.
So that's the demonstration that was kind of left the team for a while and letting Wayne get what the rest. It's just what they did. It wasn't together as a unit. So that last game that was triggers bit of flicking with that usher on the top.
U.S. is dominating possession, but we really haven't been getting any, except for 1 or 2 moves towards with Pulisic, and then one play where Alex Freeman pressed on the right. We have not. That possession has not translated into the final third. Any sort of. And there we go. A little pressure from Haji Wright. Forced almost a move there. James Sands try to make a run.
But he gets into that in Australia. Well, with Kyle Martino and the burning Melissa Ortiz, big shot.
Speaking camp, head coach Mauricio Pochettino wrote on a board in the team's meeting room, quote, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." Niederlayer posted it on his Instagram. It was actually inspired by Chef attorney Dan Cathy. We sat down with in April, and he said, "Do you know how good your business strategy is? If your team culture isn't aligned or if it's toxic, your strategy will fail. Culture is a collective behaviors, attitudes, beliefs, and values that drive the team. And we all know that Mauricio Pochettino is all about that. I got to speak to him yesterday, and he said with all the testing that they're doing, the formations, he changes, he's really emphasized the culture and the belief every one of these things.
Yeah. What that is the frustration we all have from those fans and that's it's consistently that spirit that stuff to play against and then that culture state is really that's how it was actually part of us.
All right.
Kicks out of the way. To play with support from Christian Pulisic down the left side. Right, McKennie and Freeman all in the box. That will be sent, jump back towards Richards. Crystal Palace fan, the ball back and cross towards Matt McKenzie. Richards, a lovely ball through towards Hachi Wright and Gary steps to it, looking for D'Agostino. Richards, what an idiot, comes back to Pulisic. Quite see that forward to Hachi Wright and then.
All right. We've just had about a sequence here of about a minute where we were possessing the ball in the final third a little bit more. So we're starting to feel it around coming into the 10th minute now.
So that looked so wonderfully, it was irresistible last game. Never gave ball away like that. Malik Tillman in the squad today. He's not available, and a few other players maybe just being rested by Maurizio Pochettino in terms of.
Lee Tillman not available today. He was arguably maybe the man of the match against Ecuador for the U.S.
Down the middle. Balogun is no amongst his substitutes.
Balogun got the actual man of the match award. And it's hard not to give it to the goal scorer, and he had a good game overall. And here we go. Alex Freeman getting a run into the right side of the right corner. Ooh. Pulisic played a really good ball into Haji Wright at the top of the box. Nice to see Pulisic coming over to the right side to, hey, give me the ball. I can get us a little more involved offensively here. He's recognizing we need a little. I wonder if that's on McKennie. Not. I haven't really seen a lot of McKennie involvement here, and I wonder if Christian, because this McKennie is Wes McKennie is so versatile, but the more forward up the pitch, I don't think suits his game as much. And I feel like I was seeing more from him against Ecuador. But then again, Pulisic wasn't playing. Pulisic demands the ball. I mean, we've got to play through Pulisic when he's on the pitch as much as we can. Little different.
Swansea City after a long.
When Pulisic didn't start against Ecuador. And we got an offside on Australia. Australia's been very organized. I like this, their organization, and they know, like, it seemed look like they've been playing a lot together. So they've, in qualifying, and they know what they're doing. They stay organized, and they know when that front line, that top line needs to press at the right moments, and they have like a good sense of that. A good that's coaching and that's discipline. I like Christian has had some creative flicks. It's a little imagination, and I like seeing that from Christian. I want more of that from Christian. That's why he's on the pitch. He's the best player we've ever had. And we need to see flashes of that. Like, that's like, I mean, I gotta stop saying the word like, but Clint Dempsey would do that time and again. He would try SHIT. You know, and I think Dempsey would try it, and I think when Pulisic is feeling comfortable, it's even more natural for him to do those little things. I mean, the possession's got to be 80-20 at least in favor of the U.S.
This Australian men's national team is the most informal of any of the Australian national teams. And when you consider how well they've done in rugby union, rugby league, and cricket, the fact that Tony Popovich and his Socceroos heading into a World Cup are widely held right now as the gold standard in terms of Australian sporting success. It's how bad this to me. I don't know what would be now, but
See, now there, Australia looked, that high pressure line looks really good there and we looked a little shaky in our own box as they pressed us. Matt Freese, too.
Richards across the back. He'll add some back at the weekend to take on Bournemouth and Arsenal after the Premier League against Scotland. Let's see if Pochettino wants a foul given here.
Oh boy.
Christian Pulisic down and Pochettino.
Christian Pulisic just took a knock. I mean, Jerry was just I don't think that was a malicious foul at all. I mean, he was on the ball before Christian got there. Whew. Yeah. Pochettino giving the officials a little hard time here. And you got to when your number 10 is down. But I don't know if that was a foul. Or it wasn't a malicious foul or reckless foul. He just got caught there.
To close down at the back. Robinson out to the right.
I almost wonder if Maxi Allegri. Now, you think Maxi Allegri is up watching this game at, what is it? $3 a.m. in Italy? Nah. I think Maxi will be like, all right, just just give me a note about how Christian did and that he's not hurt.
Yes. Many times tonight, Australia had everyone behind the ball and just look for the US to try and find a way to break them down. It'll be interesting to see if they can do that. This is Freeman in towards McKennie, but broken down once again. It's Capitals Australia that's 14 sheets in their past 6 matches. Robinson, Chelsea.
Oh, Miles Robinson. Good tracking back on a ball over his head. Beat the Aussie winger there to the ball. I mean, this is what Australia's plan is here. They're going to stay organized, do a very strategic press, and try to catch us on the counter. And there's been 2, maybe 3 moments where they've put the ball over the top. And, if they had maybe a little bit of a faster guy, it might have been more dangerous than it looked.
What's the third place, Saudi Arabia?
They're happy. Australia's happy to let us have the ball. We've rarely been in dangerous positions. We haven't even come close to a shot on goal yet in 18 minutes. So this is
the teenager who scored the wood on Friday in Montreal is on the bench. He looks to freshen things up. Bowling towards the box and last.
And there's a goal by Australia. We looked asleep on a throw-in, and that it was a give and go to the man throwing the ball in who scored for Australia. And this it was a bad. Was that Sands or Roldan that had that bad flick? Yeah, it was Sands.
There's a monkey heard. Right to that far post.
And that's a nice finish by Australia. That can't happen. That can't happen. That is a breakdown on defense, and look what happened. That cannot happen. That is a bad breakdown.
Situation.
Jordan Boss.
Is the goal. Came off the bench for the first game of this week.
All right, here we go. A little over the top for Pulisic from McKenzie. Turns. Oh, nice turn by Christian. Oh, he tried to thread the needle to McKennie at the top of the box, and he didn't. That was nice. Catching maybe Aussies. Okay, there's.
He was just trying to play it off enough, wasn't it? They did that for.
Try to thread the needle to McKennie between two defenders, and the Aussies intercepted it. It was a ball over the top. Christian ran it down almost to the near post, had a turn back, and if it had worked a little differently, he might have been able to turn and try to shoot. That was our biggest moment offensively of the whole, our most dangerous moment. Old Dan taking a little abuse there. The Aussies are playing from D'Agostino.
Valencia's all the way through the first half. Balogun level with 20 minutes to go.
Aussies they're strong. They're playing.
Argentino's side finding themselves.
Nice long throw. And Australia keeper has to make his first touch. That was quite the throw by Alex Freeman. A little more Brett Favre than Antonio Freeman there on the throw. Of course, his father hooked up for that long TD in the Super Bowl.
For a golf kid. But it's like a ball bounces. I think this area, there's a slight hesitation from defenders. No one gives the defender himself, and some of the defenders who play with the odds.
Interesting. Like, Mark I work at Newsday, the Long Island newspaper. We did a story on this one particular guy gives haircuts, and Mark McKenzie has sought him out on occasion to do pretty cool cuts. And Mark's trim right now is pretty standard right now. Doesn't look like he went to see that Long Island Clipper.
A sprint for players that the only one sprinting following.
Yeah, that was rough. That they keep showing the goal from Australia over and over again, and James Sands had just a rough touch that allowed Boss, after the throw, to get the ball back, make a run into the box, and get it past Freeze. I don't know if... Oh, here we go. Pulisic's got the ball in some space on the left. We got a little overlap from Weah right now, and chips into the middle from Pulisic, but Australia clears, even though the U.S. keeps possession in the final third. Well, that was a nice look. Oh, that was the best moment I've seen from Weston McKennie in the match thus far. He made a good run to kind of do a triangulation. He and Pulisic are both, they're not letting the middle of the field be a barrier. They're both playing over if they can, away from their directional position. So the player down for Australia might be D'Agostino. The referee's letting them play on. Oh,
Now back to us. A teammate of James Sam's Germany. Football cross. Back from Freeman towards back freeze.
I'm a little concerned. I think Australia is doing some good things, but we're possessing the ball, but we're not creating a lot of chances. I mean, the only chances we're getting is it when we're trying to play the ball over the top. So we are not, from possessing the ball through the back, we are not getting the right sequence and the right connections of passes to be dangerous in general in regular possession. We're only able to be dangerous in some over the top plays, which isn't bad if that's our goal. But our goal, that doesn't seem to be our goal the way we're playing. But I think maybe it's Australia is saying, here, just have the ball. We're comfortable sitting back in a, I don't know if I'd call it a total low block, but they're in a somewhat of a low block. Like I said, they're very organized. See, now they have a counter going, and they look good in the counter. It's good spacing. The U.S. breaks it up. Oh, nice turn by Christian near midfield. He gets dragged down. That should be a yellow. That's a yellow. Yeah. He got pulled down. He was on a break. He was all right. Let's hope Christian's okay. He's slow to get up now. I don't know if we're gonna see Christian beyond the halftime here. Christian's taken a little bit of some abuse here from the Australians, especially Geria. Christian is still down, and this is not cool.
Foremost with the team. Second time as captain the side under Mauricio Pochettino.
Hey, you play, you always potential to get hurt. That's not especially when, every team is going to give Christian attention. He's not a big guy. They're going to try to out physical him. Oh, Christian made a really good turn, and
looked like you guys worked out.
Australian player, they got their feet tangled. He also kind of pulled on him on his arm. All right.
Second minute against Ecuador. All
right. We got some players warming up for the U.S.
I'll get a goal against Japan in the September window.
Pochettino is getting a little worried look on his face. I mean, is he worried about? Obviously, he's worried about Christian's health more than anything. But when he's worried about if he has to make a call to see Allegri. Oh, Christian is exiting the game in the 28th minute. He just took off the captain's armband. They are saying no more. And it looks like Diego Luna is going to warm up real quick and get out there and replace him. And this ain't cool. This is not cool. I don't care that we're down a man right now, but Captain.
It's Haji Wright, but it's cleared away at the back by Australia of Chakati.
I didn't see who the armband went to after Christian took it off, though. I don't know if they've mentioned it either.
Politics right before the goal. Yeah, but it's the last armband with him. It's so frustrating. Shaking his head, slamming his hands on his knees. Such a competitor. Just frustrated that whether it's he's excited to start this.
That stinks. We got a little bit of what between him and Weah, and I wanted to see more. Haven't seen enough. Haji Wright is not looking up well. He was waiting actually pretty much for Christian to set him up. So Haji's going to have to maybe
Kemsey wide to the left for Wyatt. Firstly, the last 6 in a row. The state of Colorado, they haven't lost in Colorado since 1992, a 1-0 defeat against Ice Game with Denver. Haji Wright.
all right, there we go, Haji. Haji went back to link up with get the ball. He turned it over with Weah. Weah shoots. Woo-hoo, that was going in. It's a good save. Best chance we've had, but he was shot from 20 yards. Best chance we've had on goal. The only shot on goal we've had. That's a really nice strike from Tim Weah. Maybe like 22 yards. Good save by the keeper. Weah was like on the left side of the box at like the left post and about 22 yards out and hit a strike toward the far post. And it was going to nick into the corner, I believe. It was good play by Haji Wright. Best touch of the game so far for Haji Wright to set Weah up on that run. And so Diego Luna is in for Christian Pulisic. Diego Luna, little spark plug. Gets the ball to Weah. Gotta just, if you're the U.S., you just gotta, hey, next man up. You worry about Pulisic when the game's over in the locker room. You go and you find out what happened to Christian. Maybe at halftime, but you don't worry about that now. I mean, is this? Did he take this not like when he got clipped on the takedown? Is it something new? Is it something in the area that was bothering him early in camp? Oh.
Can we give it to Sounds underneath Victor Ireton, the little 20 kid in plays.
Pulisic is now walking to the locker room. Going to get further medical work done. We'll have to monitor that.
It's the 4th time the United States have played in this stadium. First time they've conceded. And 3 games were all World Cup qualifiers, and they managed to keep a clean sheet in all 3. Mr. Pulisic, who left the game, scored 2 in the second half of the last game, the June of 2017. Gino Williams, 2 Navins are going to go 6 and 7 international goals. First one was the Snow Blasted goal in March of 2013 on the one against Costa Rica, the Dempsey goal. I can't believe, knowing how much Marcus Beasley is affected by the call, I can't believe that he survived that. Just up all
right, good step up by Richards. I feel like, good, nice ball. Oh, and a goal. Haji Wright, baby. What a ball. I couldn't see who gave him that service. But it was a great ball, sending him through into the box between 2 defenders. And he placed it nicely. Here we go. All right. first Richards had a nice step up. McKenny to Roldan and to Wright. So really good. Richards, McKenny, Roldan. Roldan, a beautiful ball to let Wright just come up on it in between two defenders. He put it in near the near post from about 10 yards. That was really nice by Haji Wright and something he needed. It's weird. He's ever since I think it's so strange to me because I think Wright was waiting on Pulisic to give him service while Pulisic was in there. And once Pulisic came out, Wright realized I've got to be more involved in getting the ball up. So he had a great link up play. And then just now he made this really terrific run and Roldan put a nice ball through near the left post, about 10 yards out. Wright just hit it with his right foot into the near post on the left side, beat the keeper. So strange how those things happen. Pulisic comes out and Wright, I think, feels a little more energized, like he's not waiting on Pulisic to do something. I think Wright was like, I've got to make more of an impetus. I have to affect the game more. And he did. It's so weird how those things work out. When you have Pulisic on the pitch, did he just call like a bad throw? Italiano from Australia. So we had a 1-1 tie right now. We're in the 36th minute now. We had a bad touch that led to a breakdown on the Australia goal, and then a brilliant sequence of passing that led to the goal. Chris Richards intercepts the ball, gets it to McKenny. McKenny lays it nicely to Roldan. Oh. And Roldan shoots. Score! No.
He wasn't too far away from anyone for himself.
Thought he scored. There must be a scouting report on this goalie that he has a tough time with distance shots. Roldan just missed this goal. It just skidded past the outside of the right post. And it hit the stanchion that holds the corners of the goal. And so it bounced into the back of the net from behind. So that's why it looked like a goal for a second. And I think people in the crowd thought it was a goal too. I feel like Roldan has now moved from a double pivot position into more of an offensive role. Here we go. McKenny making a run down the right. Good ball by Miles Robinson to get that started. Crosses it over for Luna. No. Good chesting it out of bounds for a corner by Italiano. It's so weird. Christian came out and people are like, all right, next man up. We got to step up. And they're not waiting. They're no longer waiting for Christian to do something. McKenny's pushing. Roldan is pushing. Haji Wright is pushing. Luna is doing Luna things. He's a spark plug. He is. Woo! Haji Wright heads the corner over the net. It didn't come close, but
yes, I got on to you.
No, Haji's got some good height.
The goal that makes it 1-1 here for the United States against Australia.
I am impressed with how the rest of the team has stepped up since Pulisic came off with that injury. And we obviously need to know more about what happened to him. That's the most important thing right now. But really like Roldan. Again, you've got players knowing, hey, Christian's not here. We have to take an extra step. We have to make a move to extra space, make that extra pass now because Christian can't do it for us. And I think, you know, you have to find that balance of being able to do that when Christian is here. Can't just wait for Christian to do something brilliant. You got to find that mixture.
Kenny quite far right first time. This is through one of the writings up against the Australian store Jordan Boss. It's Boss looks here. Back to Kenny.
Some Weah with some nice movement. First with Sands, I believe.
Boss down the right side. Sit down for the Kenny.
Now both Roldan and Sands were playing a little more deeper in that double pivot, and both are being more bold. And I think maybe it's because the interplay of Luna. Luna has no problem going back a little bit more to get involved. Oh, a nice little chip pass from Luna. Little McKenny centers. Ball gets through, but nobody. Oh, and a little offside. Haji Wright is offside. I mean, again, maybe it's a combination of the U.S. Everybody's manning up, taking a step, next man up with Pulisic out. But I think it's also like Australia, their game plan was, let's not let Pulisic beat us. And now they're relaxed that the best player is off the pitch. And I think we've got like two dynamics going on with the U.S., everybody else knowing I've got to step up. I've got to play. I got to fill that void that Christian's brilliance would normally fill. And I think Australia is sort of, they've lost their purpose a little bit. You know, all right, we're going to stop. Now they don't know who to stop next. They don't know. They haven't decided, well, I got to stop Luna. I got to stop Weah. I've got to stop Wright. They haven't figured out where their focus should be. Good ball to Weah on the left, but he loses a little bit, and so he loses his advantage, but he still has the ball. And he makes a run towards the touchline and forces a corner. I swear at the end. And this is where coaching has to come in. You have coach has to be so happy that every player seems to have stepped it up just a little bit with Pulisic out. But they need, Roldan is getting so Boldan. I'm still reacting the way I am because both Sands and Roldan have pushed up. Maybe they're feeling more confident in that back three, that they know they can stave off those counters if that's a problem. I think it's so weird. I think Australia is more shocked about Pulisic getting hurt than the U.S. is. It's almost like a weight is lifted up. We've got to, for the U.S., is we got to make sure we play through Pulisic. He's our best player. If we put him in the right positions, his brilliance will net us a goal or two. And now it is, right here again, we're a little shaky with Australia's high press when they decide to do it, and when they've got us on our heels a little bit. That's concerning to me a little bit. Oh, Julian Sands got clipped really bad, and the ref missed it. Everybody in the U.S. is angry. That's a foul. That's like a card, man. This is getting a little. That was dangerous. Yeah, that's dangerous. That's really dangerous from D'Agostino. That tackle from behind. Oh my gosh, he could have broken his legs. He never got near the ball, and he just took his leg out with both of his legs.
Quincy Williams, the referee from Trinidad, he will take charge of the Under-17 World Cup next month. 3-1 in the group stage of the World Cup.
All right. James Sands.
Freezing sat the final minute of the half. Richard's still in conversation with the referee.
So Chris Richards I was talking earlier about how I think like he said, and then he took another knock from the guy next to him too. That should be a yellow minimum. That was a really reckless challenge. We were talking before about the captain's armband. Chris Richards is wearing
The challenge.
the armband right now.
4th cap for him. His first cap since September of 2023, and his first start since June of 2022. And for that can still in front of together in the elite. He had to choose to stop his tactile.
Oh, another tackle from behind. Really dangerous. And like, this Trinidad referee is losing control. This Aiden O'Neill. Chris Richards is in this ref's face. You're not going to give him a card? Oof. Wow. And it's on Sands again.
That loss against Canada in Kansas City, where we talked during the broadcast, and there was a lot of talk post-game about how the challenges were coming in and players would stop and standing up to teammates, and felt just a little bit flat. Certainly not that case tonight.
Yeah, and the mistake, if something's happened to face that it doesn't get better. That's weird. That's been consistent in the substitution and tactical chemistry. We've had last game absolutely this event. What a wonderful sign that culturally to watch.
Oh, nice give and go. Oh,
It's both by still getting that analysis. You can't see carrying forward. If you can get the city to take it. The referee's blown up that whistle.
all right. And that's halftime. Is Chris Richards okay after putting that hit on D'Agostino? Okay, I think he was just. All right, so we're at halftime. 1-1, getting chippy there at the end of the first half.
American Airlines.
To the travelers, to the dreamers, to the entire match screamers, this one's for you, the true fans, the red, white, and blue fans. For the late nights and cross-country flights, all to be there. Every challenge, every win, every chance to flight, one stop to the next.
All right,
Where your fandom
gonna take my own halftime break here.
American Airlines, official airline of U.S. soccer.
I'll go buy a crazy touchdown. Sometimes. Usually sitting here. I said, snazzy stuff. Running up. Double pop. What's the phone that they do to the locker room? Right. It's everything. That's it. Where's Shaq? Did Shaq get out?
I'm gonna take my own break right now. I'll be back with you. I'm gonna leave this on because I don't want multiple recordings this is live. I pause. I will be right back.
Check the new game day house.
All right, everybody, I'm back. We're at halftime, and we are eagerly awaiting news on Christian Pulisic's injury. He was clipped from behind Bajiria, Australia. He was turning. He was about to make. Who knows what was going to happen on that because he made this turn, and
Heading into the first match against Ecuador, these sports stop. Diego Luna comes in and immediately runs the sport. But we're looking for things. You and I are talking about search. Who's going to send a message to Australians? Who knocking out the best player? What's the message? Well, starting with the message.
I'll tell you, we're showing they're showing that finish a couple times here by Haji Wright.
And Haji Wright gets his goal. But
That's the kind of goal when you're on form as a striker. That's the kind of goal you're scoring, man. He had this wherewithal as he entered the box. There's two guys here, but I have a moment. I can do a Sutter step here and get myself in position to use my right foot to shoot this ball instead of just naturally just playing it with my left. It was like he knew, even though kicking it with the right was not. I bet you the XG is even worse taking that shot from that angle. But he positioned his body to make that play. So that's a interesting thing. I'm a little American beer here in the second half.
In the 33rd minute, it was his sixth international goal, 10 goals in his last 11 games.
and inside out with the right foot. I mean, the wherewithal of right there. Okay, so obviously Ortiz and the crew, the TNT crew,
Who did win U.S. women's national team for?
are waiting, are still trying to report this out. What's going on with Pulisic? He went down in the middle of the first half. He had taken a knock earlier and was down for a few moments, got up, and then there was this play where he received the ball near midfield on the U.S. side of midfield and made this brilliant turn to go around the defender, and the defender clipped him from behind and also grabbed his arm. And Christian, that was it for Christian. I don't have a second screen with me right now because I'm still getting used to this setup. So I don't know what you're all saying on the social media sphere, because I'm focused on this right now. And
17 for
so I'm in the dark. It looked like a leg thing. He got clipped from behind. I mean, it'd be one thing. At first I thought, you know what? Maybe he's just like, you know what? I'm getting out of here. I don't want to get it. This is 2 bad incidents of tackles that I've gotten. And this is what I thought initially. When he decided to come out, he pulled off the captain's armband. And I was like, you know what? Maybe he's making not like a decision he made last summer where he decided not to play the Gold Cup, but I mean, a decision like, listen, I'm already feeling not 100%, and I'm taking a couple knocks here. I think it's time for me to take a break. But if that were the case, I would have thought he might have stuck around on the bench. No, moments later, he had his warm coat on and he was walking to the locker room with what appeared to be medical staff. So they want an extra look at this, whether it be an MRI or an X-ray or something. He didn't look like he was limping, but you never know with anything like that. And Christian, who's had maybe some soft tissue issues in his younger years, not really, I think, that much since he's been with AC Milan. I want to apologize. I can see the shine on here. I've got a sty in my eye, so I want to apologize for that. I really wanted to do this live watch along, and this sty it's been affecting my work at the computer screen. It's really it's definitely much better right now than it was earlier in the day. I've been taking antibiotics for it. So that's what that shine is. It's like the antibiotic ointment that I put on my eye.
additional mobile lines, just $30 a month.
But yeah, all this bruise, like, yeah. All right, can we get a Christian update?
Tonight show is presented by Volkswagen and the all-new 2025 Tiguan.
Okay, next time I do a live watch along, I'm gonna have my laptop right here too.
At 1 after the first 45, guys. We just broke down the highlights. What was your biggest takeaway in the first?
Well, the bad is it seems like we always have moments that can at least to a goal. It's in the first half, second half. We turn off in bad most of the game. And that was off of a throw-in. That means that they scored a goal. That can't happen. In a friendly, in a World Qualifier World Cup match, that's the most, I would say, disappointing thing for me. But
yeah, DeMarcus Beasley is totally taking U.S. to task for having that breakdown on the throw-in by Australia that led to the goal. Spot on. Everybody looked a step slow. Sands had a bad touch, and Boss was the one who was throwing it in, and he was running in and took possession of that ball that nobody seemed to want to get at.
All over the field, covering every way you grasp. And to your point, every time you receive the ball,
He was one of the few players that wanted to turn, pivot, and play forward at quick baseball.
All right, well, the players are back out on the pitch. Second 45 is coming at you next. That's it for Dunny, DeMarcus, and myself. We'll see you post-game.
Okay. Give me a moment here. I got to find out what's going on with Christian. I feel like I haven't been given anything by the broadcast.
At least 2025 flash, 279 a month. Limited inventory available.
With so much more than vitamin C. Be ready to fight back with emergency. And for on-the-go immune support, try Emergency Crystals. No water needed.
When you want to feel clean and soft, try new Dial Healthy Hydration Body Wash with skin-friendly ingredients. It deeply cleans and hydrates in one shower for confidence to get closer. Dial up your clean.
Check the new DNA pay. Oh, snap! DirecTV got hot.
That's right. DirecTV is flexible for all those pro color games and fingertips. The second dad's theme song is Couture.
Okay, thank you so much. I was about to say that. It's Couture.
Seeing.
This is Judy and Pedro. They just bought their first home and are learning a lot. Thanks to Google, Pedro knows more than he wanted to about gravel. Oh, and Judy wouldn't call herself a plumber, but she dabbles.
Wait, how do these things work together?
Honey, I did it!
So far as they've learned one thing about homeownership is that there's a lot to learn. Good thing you can just ask Google.
So I'm looking up what's going on with Christian since the
Secret for the most rental listings. Not mention our secrets for making renting easier with Matterport's 3D virtual tours and online applications.
Oh, this is good.
Yay! Apartments.com. Ooh, a place to find a
Yeah,
place.
I don't know. There's a lot of hate for Christian Roldan going on, and
Unpack once and get closer to iconic landmarks, local life, and cultural treasures. Because when you experience Europe on a Viking longship, you'll spend less time getting there and more time being there. Viking, exploring the world in comfort.
You're connected with Spectrum. You get 5G and fiber-powered internet. 5 fastest wireless speeds. So you can sweat for the right reasons. It's always a seamless connection you love at home, everywhere you go. It's only everywhere.
Activate your Food mobile line today at no cost.
TNT is presented by American Airlines.
okay, I'm still looking for some Christian Pulisic.
It's Melissa Ortiz with Maurizio Pochettino.
Mauricio, it got a bit out of control at the end of that first half. What was the message in the locker room for the team?
Well, the message was that I think we start the game, we know that we go to well, saying we will see that all that we seem to concede. We were talking about complete that's important, but I think happy in the way that we finished the first half because I think we control the game after getting really that I don't concede. I think we start to play more happier and we start to see the thing with the beginning. The thing that it's a new thing, the first time that we're together, but I think we were seeking too much and then we were going to go. You're welcome.
All right, they just talked to Poach.
The United States in the first half, 6 shots
And
to 1.
I don't think he said anything about Pulisic.
2 shots on target. for the US. Australia scored with their only shot on goal in the first 45 minutes. As we are back underway in Commerce City, Colorado at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. And after one more tour against the Honor on Friday, the United States find themselves level here against 25th ranked Australia. They're the fourth highest ranked team in the Asian Confederation. And to work to the end of that first half, it was getting a little bit fiery between the two teams. We'll see if that continues. Whistle has gone for the second 45. We'll see a Pochettino talking here. Should not have been conceded. That's Russ. To be draws in 5 defeats where doing the first goal. To Pochettino hit the boss.
Oh, Jesus. We were very lucky. Australia had their most, since the goal, the most dangerous play, cross, and
Try to find its way on Friday.
well, gamesmanship there too.
Skill. Sure. Austin, say like top 2 and 7 players and as of one, still just glides by a little bit too easily. That scored in the last 9 in a row since the draw against Saudi Arabia in qualifying last year. They found the net in 11 of the last 12 matches. Pushing forward here with D'Agostino up against Richards here.
Would really like some. See if U.S. Soccer can give us some info.
They build up from D'Agostino here, but it doesn't help out the whole way. Just obviously that chop send around.
All right, Australia has started the second half on the front foot. Being very aggressive. I think they like the fact that this has got as chippy. They've been chippy pretty much the whole time. They were chippy on Pulisic, and that caused them to leave the game. I still, there's something in the back of my mind it's partly precautionary with Pulisic. I think maybe like, you know what? I don't need to get battered around in this game. These guys are being
goals, post assist rates. It's Boyle starting over it.
What's up, Fox in the Box? You heard anything on Pulisic?
That's off. To the coach to pick it to the teams to that team.
If there's no news, I'm not saying it's good news, but if there's no news, maybe there's just no news. He's just off.
It's the fine game for the US in the South John window in November for the face 2 teams.
This is not a good start of the second half. US on the back heels. Aussies on the front foot, obviously.
Tampa on the 18th. Stino picks it up.
Yeah, that's a bit of a dangerous tackle. D'Agostino has been challenging and dangerous the whole time. And I don't know why the Trinidad referee is keeping these cards in his pockets. There should be more than one card in this game.
Television. What's that team being tonight? Richards.
US needs to settle this down. Australia came out on fire the first few minutes of the second half. Their most aggressive play of the whole match so far. That was the best sequence Australia has had, even beside the goal. And the US looked a little sluggish.
US won by 3-1, but then scored 2. It's not nice to stop each time until he carried out it left in the first half for Australia.
Nice little thing. Haji Wright again. Oh, he's got on the left side to goal. Haji Wright. Oh man. What great ball to get him free on the right side. And he makes this brilliant move to give himself position with his left foot this time. He, compared to the first goal when he pitched it was right. All right. Coming off the kick, the free kick, and wow. Wow, that, oh my God. The ball over the top. His first touch was amazing. The Aussie defender just crumpled on that first touch. And he's Haji Wright has scored with his right foot and his left foot, both from positions where they were not the strongest foot for him in that moment. I mean, well, to tell you the truth, that was kind of like some Mo Salah kind of like switching over and then making use of the left foot. But Haji Wright, oh boy. I mean, I don't want to say it because I'm kind of a Josh Sargent stan, but Haji Wright is like showing how somebody leading the Champo and scoring should be translating to the national team. Haji, of course, had a goal in the World Cup in the knockout stage.
Support coming. He's thinking, why would I get this on my left foot? I know exactly where to put it.
I swear this game has changed so much when Pulisic got hurt and left the game. Again, I would like to know some more information about what's going on with him. Haji Wright is playing himself onto this World Cup roster right now.
The Wednesday just before the international break.
This is what strikers are supposed to do when they come to the national team. Especially one scoring as prolifically.
Really beautiful. You cut that. Yes, the defender slips, but even if the defender keeps his foot in the foot.
The defender slipping, Kyle, had to do with Wright. The field may be a little slick, sure. I mean, yeah, the Denver dew point is a little different. Ricardo Pepi, are you watching? Haji Wright, who made the World Cup roster ahead of Ricardo Pepi in 2022 and scored a goal. And Pepi was like the biggest name that got left off because he did so much during the qualifying that time. But he just can't stay healthy right now. He hasn't been healthy for a while. He scores when he's healthy. Oh, Diego Luna. Oh, great ball. Oh. This give and go sequence between Luna, McKennie, and Haji Wright there almost producing another great scoring chance. The dynamic of this game changed so much when Pulisic came off the field. I'm still, it's flooring me. I'm talking about it incessantly, but it's like everybody in the U.S. decided to take a step forward, take a step up, and said, all right, we're not going to wait for Christian to do something. We all have to do something. And the Aussies, obviously their whole game plan was to be physical with Christian and prevent Christian from beating them. And so the Aussie game plan, like this week, they lost some energy when Pulisic left the field, and we gained energy. And the U.S. has to figure out what happened here, where we were all waiting for Christian to do something for like 25 minutes. And he had a couple of nice flicks, but Australia was boxing it, and Australia had a dangerous set piece ball into the middle of the box there. As far as I'm concerned, D'Agostino arguably should have been sent off. I mean, shouldn't even be on the pitch. Our set piece, and that's one of those things. Good punch out by Freeze on the cross. Our set piece defending, and this is one of those things. It's tough when you're in international breaks. That's like one of the set piece defending is one of the things you have to constantly do little bits of work here and there on over a long period of time to kind of get your rhythm and your cohesion on how you're defending that. And I think that's hard at the international level when you only have like a week together every so often.
We'll see. Nestor Erankunda, who is a player who's attracting a lot of attention right now. Just 19 years old, 3 goals in 8 caps, plays for Watford in the Championship. Way back things. All
right, we're coming up. We're in the 58th minute now, so I'm kind of interested in some of the moves we're going to see here. Will we see Cameron Carter-Vickers? Now that Pulisic's out, we could see Brendan Aronson. Because I don't anticipate McKennie playing the full 90. I'm thinking Luna's going to stay on the rest of the match. Haji Wright will come off, likely for Ajaman, but you could see Flo Balogun. I don't know. I don't know if Flo Balogun comes into a game we're winning. It's 2-1 US. 2 brilliant goals by Haji Wright, who is not only making an announcement in the English Championship as the Golden Boot leader, but he just scored 2 goals for the US.
And then the midfielders, Bala and Metcalf. That's the sticking aspect. Will come on. This thing. Made 3 substitute appearances at the last World Cup. They played in a round of 16, loss against Argentina.
I think I'm hoping against hope that there's nothing seriously wrong with Pulisic, that this is just like, all right, you know what? I've taken some abuse here. I'm not 100%. And I need to think about my club season. I need to think about the World Cup next summer.
Here comes the quadruple change. So plenty of experience.
Australia is making 4 changes right now.
Some goals as well. Toure, relatively newly to his international career, 2 goals in 5 caps, plays for Randers in Denmark. Should know Flo Balogun. He was Reims playing in the Reims B team in France when Balogun was there on loan in the first team. A wonderful goal scoring season in France when he's on loan from Arsenal, Flo Balogun. So put together attacking talents with Durham is 21, we've got Thunder 19.
But I mean, Here's what I like. The thing I don't like is that Pulisic is out injured. How the extent of that injury, we don't know. Maybe it's precautionary, like Australia was being too. But this is what's good about like Australia's playing this game like they're at the World Cup a little bit. I mean, they're organized like they would be against a team that's a little better than they are. They are. Here we go, Weah, McKinney. Oh, the ref! Oh my gosh, this ref! He can't get out of his own way. Oh, Trinidad always out to get us. Probably unintentionally. I think he's just in over his head for this game. They said he's going to be like the lead referee for the U17 World Cup. Well, maybe he shouldn't be doing senior team friendlies between two teams that will be in the World Cup. Got
Gorgeous. Towards your captain in the back.
I love in those pressure situations. As long as he's got the support in those press situations, when Luna makes a run at the defender that hasn't gotten the ball yet, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Charge.
But as long as he has the support, there have been times when Luna makes those runs and nobody's there supporting behind him in that's part of what makes pressure work too. There's got to be, pressing has to be madness, but have method to it, right? Yes, I'm pulling some Hamleys out of my pants. Okay, so Balogun and Aronson are about to come in. So what does that say about Ajima? That he's not the sub. Why is Balogun coming into a game we're winning?
O'Neill wants to get some distance off the back of McKenny.
This might be part of the plan. Hey, I want to see how Balogun looks. But he saw that against Korea. Balogun came in as a sub against Korea. Okay. So Aronson, Tessman, and Balogun. I don't see who they're coming in for.
Brendan Aronson getting the opportunity to come into Tim Weah. Tanner Tessman wanting to get as well.
My friend Michael, the Leeds fan. Brendan Aronson is getting 26 minutes. He's coming in. All right, so Tessman coming in for Sands. That is a position for position. They're playing the same position. Haji Wright coming in. Reestablishing himself, Mr. Wright. And then who did Aronson replace? McKenny? No, I see McKenny still.
Tim Sands makes way.
For Weah. Okay. Weah has played a lot of minutes this window. That's fine. He's been effective. Oh, Luna! Luna's instincts are just so good. So good. Luna is a perfect super sub for next summer. Perfect. Spark plug, energy. All right, Brendan Aronson announcing himself with the tackle. And this is something to note. Brendan Aronson has been a very work rate kind of person for Leeds. and he's even in more of some defensive help in the midfield in how Leeds are using him. So maybe that showed something to Poach.
See,
I Mark McKenzie did not get called for a foul here. Ball was over the top. Australian 10 got, and oh yeah, they got their feet tangled, but that's, I blame, that's a 50-50 blame, I think. He was running across and not paying attention to the run McKenzie was making. That could be said for McKenzie.
McKenzie. Now, Richards.
Oh, Testman's first pass was not good, and it triggered a counter for Australia. Ooh, a little bounding ball near the top of the box.
Oh, yeah. That's a big way mark in the second half. In City tomorrow. Get ready.
Oh, what was that? Testman and Torre just, or who was that? Around Kunda, okay.
So had you needed to get in, we'll probably have to wait a little longer for the first US hat trick since Jesus Ferrero and the 2023 Gold Cup. They get seen having to get up.
Hello.
Had you had to.
I am.
Not single. We're the last 2 games from Central Striker we've seen validated.
My apologies. I'm being told I'm a little too loud.
Finding his fault, this team is a wing back. And speak to them.
Problems with a 9 p.m. kickoff in my household.
Australia's only ever win against the US was way back in June of 1992. The friendly in Orlando that finished 1-0 for Australia. The first ever meeting between these two teams.
All right, we're in the 69th minute now. The U.S. is leading 2-1 over Australia. 2 goals by Haji Wright after Australia had taken the lead early in.
It's lost a little bit of flow with all the changes they've had both sides.
That is a great ball by McKinney to Balogun down the left side. Gets it to Luna. Roldan was at a fine performance. That ball went off Australia. That should be a U.S. throw. No? Okay.
More about recruiting Weston McKennie. They've been very vocal all game long. I mean, even at the start of the second half, I watched Weston McKennie talking to players, talk to the subs that were coming on. It's been contagious. It's leaking around the team that other players are joining on, and also network effect of passing on communication really strong. And you just look over, even if the message isn't you, just digest it. And what's your sense? You know that sounds trying to organize things, so you got to pay attention to make sure that communication.
Honestly, McKinney is trying to play a little more centrally since the changes, and okay, we are having a series of bad touches
for a throw for Australia.
For the U.S. here.
They've only lost once in their last 17 matches, Australia, but they trail here as we head towards the final 20 minutes in Commerce City, Colorado. I mentioned earlier tonight that Mauricio Pochettino was here once before the 2015 MLS All-Star game. He brought his Spurs side in to play the All-Stars, and when we chatted with Mauricio Pochettino yesterday, he looked across the table at DeMarcus Beasley and said, "You played in that game. We beat you." And he didn't say anything at the time, but I just went on my phone to look up and see what happened in that game. Turns out that Mauricio Pochettino had actually lost 2-1 to the MLS All-Stars, but Mauricio Pochettino was telling it's obviously a won game. I'm not sure what Beast thought at the time, but actually it was a win to the All-Stars. Harry Kane put one back after the task. I'm not seeing David Villa got a goal as well. And Mauricio Pochettino said, "We played the kid."
All right. Oh, Balogun's offside.
In the middle of June, July. Victor Barrow down. Couldn't quite get that on CT Kenny.
This is a really good someone. Management this game. Australia picked up their shots every two special transition to use some uses.
So a little bit of a bad ball by Richards there. Snuck it out of bounds. I guess there was part of me that thought maybe Richards wouldn't have to play 180 minutes in this window, but it looks like now that's what he's going to be doing.
Tony Popovich for Australia, bringing on 4 players that started in the game.
Both teams rotating their lineups here.
In South the United States, that goal in September against Japan in Columbus, and the equaliser late against Ecuador, and that's it. So Tessman now inside alongside Christian.
Roldan has been. He was not. I thought the first early on Roldan was having trouble, but he is, and it has played well. There's a lot of Roldan hate out there for some reason because he's just a good MLS player. But you know what? He does little things when he gets in these positions. He does some things that make you want to have him around.
Back Italiano trying to lick up here with Trustic. Oh, Trustic! You get back again as chased by O'Neill to the far side. Henry will just let him go high. Aidan Morris is coming in. So going to see Max Austin very shortly.
Sounds like Aiden Morris and Max Austin are going to get subbed on soon.
This is boss.
What does that say? That no Cameron Carter Vickers.
Kenny and Will Dunn, the 2 players that will be leading the game.
All
16 minutes remaining as the ball comes back to.
All right. 75th minute now. Again, U.S. leads Australia 2-1. And since both teams have made a bevy of changes, we have not had that much excitement. I think the new players coming on are trying to feel their way out.
I could play Joshua on this back line. Was able to get that one away.
Halligan Does some nice things with his pressure on the ball from the box. All right, counter. Let's go. And, all right, that's the second time he's pulled somebody.
54th cap. And launching 35 of 6 games at the Gold Cup this summer. It's made a decent start. 4 bucks above the Molyneux over here. Huge game for.
All right, Aiden Morris getting some more time.
Well done, Lucy. Yeah, stops in the Christian Atlanta.
Okay, so Aronson was playing the left wing backs, and now that Arfson's coming on, he'll play that left wing back, and Aronson will now fill the role McKennie had been sort of morphing into as the game went on, where he went from that inverted forward attacking midfielder role into a more central box-to-box kind of thing. And that's where Aronson is now. And McKennie has definitely reasserted himself on the player pool. I think Poach realizes that McKennie's got to be on the field. He brings so many different elements. He doesn't have a defined position, but you just put him where you need him to be. I don't think that inverted forward attacking midfielder position in this formation is the best place for McKennie. I think maybe if he could be in front of a pivot, somewhere in there. But he's kind of his toughness. Now, he's the kind of player you need on the pitch as much as possible. Woo! Australia has had some of these long distance free kicks. Put some dangerous balls in the box.
Today at the presser, he had that serious space. Usually he's bubbly. We know him like that. And I went up to him afterwards. I said, "Hey, everything all right? Was it a touch you asked?" He goes, "No, I'm on side. You know what? I'm just in my element." And you can certainly see it in his game as well.
Come on.
Yeah, Aronson is definitely more central now with McKennie out.
Holding on to this 2-1 lead as Freeman picks it up here.
Freeman looks like he's going to play the full 90. So now we're back at the so Morris is playing. Morris and Tessman are now in that double pivot that they were in against Ecuador. Back and forth between Aronson. Great ball. Oh my goodness. Oh, Aronson put this beautiful ball in at the top of the penalty box. And at the top of the 6-yard box. And Luna, he couldn't finish it. Oh, that would have been a ball game. It was a good back and forth between Miles Robinson and Freeman that set that up, that got the ball into Aronson in that dangerous spot. And I thought Aronson was going to turn almost like Wright did his second goal. Oh, Luna.
Hits the defenders 2 feet. Luna one up to those legs. Was it working for Luna? We're going to leave the ball. Carry it forward straight towards Matt Freeze.
It's actually a ball I would expect Luna to finish. Aronson, that was a brilliant feed. There we go. Aronson moving the ball up on the right side. Good pass by Luna to set him up. Nice ball back into Luna. You got a second chance. Oh. Okay. Finally, after all those changes, we're starting to get a rhythm here for the U.S. in getting some space because Australia is pushing a little bit to try to get the equalizer. Aronson and Luna, who may have developed a little. Ooh, Freeman just knocked knees with. Freeman hit his knee on Boss's head.
Inside the final 10 minutes.
I hope they're both okay. Alex Freeman is like, no, in the shin below the knee for Freeman. Right? His shin hit the head of Boss. So, but they're checking Boss for concussion. But Freeman. See, I'm worried more about Freeman right now than I was about Pulisic.
And so 2-1 with 8 minutes left to play here. 2 goals from Haji Wright. Haji Wright getting the start tonight for the United States. Scores his 6th and 7th international goal.
Boss is sitting up now. Still being evaluated, I think, for a concussion.
Freeman's sitting up now as well.
Freeman's sitting up. I guess
Alex Freeman starting for the US. The Orlando man, just 21 years old. Let's open the story in the 19th minute.
I was watching earlier today. I had the ESPN multi-view of 4 African nations, 4 African qualifiers, and for the World Cup. Got to see my boy Sadio Mane score for Senegal, and it wasn't the Senegal game, and I can't remember which game it was. There was a really somebody took a knot to the head, and players are kind of fighting a little bit, and they brought a stretcher out, and then most of them got up, and he was fine. Strange.
To play here in Commerce City, Colorado. Haji Wright is an American Airlines coach.
Okay. They've already given the American Airlines coast-to-coast performer to Haji Wright. Yes, he is, as of right now, he's the man of the match. And again, he literally didn't. All of a sudden, once Pulisic, he was waiting for Pulisic to set him up, and Pulisic never. There was 1 or 2 touches that may have prompted him, may have set him up, but it was the beginnings of something. But Wright was waiting. He was waiting for the game to come to him instead of affecting the game himself. And once Pulisic went down, oh man. Now we got another American down. Balogun. No. All right. Australia.
Balogun back to his feet.
Let's see what happened there. Turned over and saw Balogun hitting his ass. Went to wait for the replay to see what happens.
He got tangled up. The defender, they were nowhere near the ball.
So Balogun trying to slap Balogun at the arm. Careful with that, especially when your hand's in a high position.
I am not. There was a moment at the end of the first half where the U.S. was like not taking it anymore, but I think we need a little. I'm surprised somebody like McKennie did not insert himself into this a little bit more. He's one of those guys in the past that is, when things get chippy, he always seems to just kind of inch his way in between people and let the opponent know he's there. And I apologize for the sty I have in my eye and the antibiotic ointment I've got phone on here. Not a perfect day. About six hours ago, this was a lot worse. If I was like I was 6 hours ago, I wouldn't have even dared go on.
United States still leading thanks to Haji Reichsdorf. The first time I think that I'm onto this, they have come from behind to win, having conceded the first goal under Mauricio Pochettino. Here's Luna.
All right, here we go. Why don't we get another goal to just kind of ice this thing?
Turns in a tight space and rolls it back towards Chris Richards. Final change coming for Australia. Mitch Jude, the veteran forward, will come on for his 50th. And that plays into the 34-year-old striker. For one for the other. Into the left.
Oh.
Free kick given there. Lewis Miller was fouled.
Orfston got a little back heel, cheeky back heel to Morris on the left side, and it.
Mitch Duke getting set to come in.
I like the thought a little bit, but you're winning 2-1. You don't need to do extra. Sometimes it's better to just make the certain pass instead of being a little inventive in those spots. When you're down 2-1, yeah, you can do it. Now we got to show that we can hold the lead against a team of this caliber. Oh, nice little ball from Morris over to Luna on the left side. Aronson working himself around the pitch.
Just didn't quite come off further up. Still picks it up on the far side. Flows down by Jerry. And here comes the final change for the soccer.
All right. Australia making one more change in the 89th minute. Adding a striker for the last couple minutes. I'm going to guess we have at least 4 minutes. There's few injuries. You got a goal, few injuries.
So if you that midweek also stands, it's just a top and then repeated it twice. Just really like I just want to player out there and the back to either center, also give them something back the ball off of.
Getting something out. Trying to get a for comments to come into that assist.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That youngster for Australia, Kandala. Oh my goodness. He just dribbled through 3 US players and nearly scored. Woo!
So what between them? I knew that it's the silver having. The website's like Lucas.
I believe he's the one that scored against Canada, right? Wow. Well, Richards held his ground a bit. But wow. Oh, an interesting ball. Aronson down the right side. Is he going to pass it? Oh, that's out of bounds for a corner.
You look at the substitutes that have come out tonight, and they've made an impact. Big announced today tonight hasn't happened on someone like you ever. It's it again.
It's a short beast. Don't make it expensive. It's just stuff happening. You feel proud that behind this 70-something to get it
Interference of time, we have about the end of this one.
Just like I predicted, 4 minutes stoppage time. Corner from Luna on the right side. Ball in. Kinsey flicked it with his head, but it just went to the side. But U.S. keep possession. I've liked what I've seen from Aronson tonight in a little bit. Oh, wow. Aiden Morris made a great run, and he deked the defender so you get some space for a shot and missed wide left and near post. Might have been surprised to be in that position. There we go. With Australia pushing, we should be able to get a counter here or there.
See that 12 match and big low come to an end here. So you should stop his time left to go. Your top man Duke and straight through to that freeze.
All right. 91-30. 2.5 minutes left.
He's touched on the freeze. He's still there. That's been necessary. This will ban Australia all around the world. But it huge issues in terms of constant chances. And that's this for. So he says,
I am.
So coming out from Turin, Swaggy's up to offside, and you talked about 20 minutes ago, and there's a offer about the US managing to see this game through.
Oh, even worse. He should have scored a goal. That's a guy that's not used to scoring goals.
Richards down the line, 3-win will chase. Just keep it in play. Into long ball down Seals. You can't see some moves in the back. There's Cameron Burgess. All
right, we're in the last minute here. Still 2-1 US over Australia. The back three has played the full 90 plus. Richards with McKenzie to his left and Robinson to his right.
It'll be this book for the World Cup, but still you got to take those chances when you get them. And I can't think of a player today for sure. Any person it's a shift in what position to still have games that need to show what's doing with the game ball. They still need to find that player.
All right. 15 seconds, or if there's any other time the official feels that he needs to add on.
Seconds of this one.
And that's ball game. US wins. Come back. 2-1. Lots to like. Beating a top 25, top 30 team in the world. After conceding the first goal, it was a bad goal. Looked a little flat-footed on a throw-in. But Aji Wright has put himself deep into the striker conversation for next summer's World Cup. He scored twice. You have a Diego Luna looked good. Christian Roldan looked pretty good. The back three wasn't too bad. They looked a little on the goal. The back three all froze for a moment. And that needs to be worked on. But Haji Wright looked good. Pulisic looked okay while he was in there. He's hurt. That is absolutely number one thing we need to know is the extent of what's wrong with him. Whether it was precautionary more than it was an actual full-on injury. But you don't know in these situations. You have Balogun looked good when he came back on. Where was strong.
They're experiencing an exposed layer of the tooth. Sunshine helps by creating.
James Sands was okay, but he had the bad touch on the goal that allowed the goal. Whenever he had it on the throw, he kind of kicked it up in the air, and everybody kind of froze. So I don't know if James Sands made enough of an impression. He did take a couple of bad hits at the end of the first half. There's a lot to like. 3-4-3. I want to see so much. Weah played the left wing back while Alex Streeman played the right. And Streeman was okay. Can we take what we were doing? I want that.
Well, if he didn't say it, he'll go.
What happened at the Christian Pulisic injury was the pivot of the whole match. And the U.S., everybody in the U.S. seemed to step up their game when he got hurt. And Australia, now that the focal point of what they were trying to do to stop us was off the field, in their own doing, by the way, they seem to lack the technical wherewithal to adjust when Pulisic went off. So there was a combination of both of those things. And can we get our players, not named Christian Pulisic, to play like that when he's on the pitch? It's whenever he plays and steps up like that where his brilliance can really elevate the game. If you're just until he got hurt, we were dominating possession, but we weren't getting any dangerous plays. Maybe one dangerous play was over the top to Christian and to the left side of the box, and he made this turn. And if the defender had just leaned a little bit more one way, Christian might have had a shot on goal. Instead, he quickly passed it off. And I think there's a lot to like about this window. We played teams that are close to us in world rankings, a team that may be the second or third best team in our group. Both of those teams could be in our group and considered the second best third team, and we need a result against one of those. We need a result against that team. We can't be any worse than a tie when we're in the group stage in that next summer. And today showed even a lot more. When your best player comes off the field with an injury, everybody else steps up. You saw some brilliance from Haji Wright. I made a statement before about Haji Wright, like showing what somebody scoring a lot of goals in the championship needs to be doing at the national team level that Sargent just can't seem to find. And I think we may not see Sargent again in a camp before the World Cup. So I think Haji Wright now, is it Flo Balogun and Haji Wright? Did Haji Wright really insert himself into this thing? Scoring 2 goals in one of the key games in the build-up to the World Cup has to mean something, especially the way he did it, the way he positioned himself in both cases to score that goal. And that's what a striker mentality has to be like. All right, if I know I'm making this run on the first goal, if I'm making this run, and if I hesitate just the right amount and get it to my right foot, I mean, that inside out with the right foot into the near post, that's crazy good. And then the second one, he makes the move You're like, oh, the defender slipped. No, yeah, defender slipped because Haji Wright made him slip. He deked him. So Haji will get tons of accolades tonight, and he deserves it. He's the man of the match. Diego Luna looked good. Christian Roldan looked pretty decent. Chris Richards showed some leadership, took the captain's armband after Pulisic got hurt. Was trying to get the referee to get some control of the game late in the first half when Australia's chippiness really was getting out of hand. I feel like the cards were left in the pocket a little too much from this Trinidad referee. But there's a lot to like in this window. A tie against Ecuador and a win over Australia. Australia rotated some of their players. They didn't start some of the same players they did against Canada when they beat Canada earlier in the window, but we rotated some players too. The U.S. You'll take it 2-1. Take the victory. You take the positives. The 3-4-2-1 formation is kind of coming together a little bit, and now it's like, what are we going to see in November? Who's going to be here? Can Jedi get healthy enough to actually play some minutes in November? Or should he just concentrate on club football and then we'll worry about 2026 for him? He's the biggest.
I think even in the game against Japan,
absence right now.
It kind of started to change the narrative.
So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to try something similar to this again in the next window next month. So again, US 2, Australia 1, and lots of positives. We need to know what happened to Christian Pulisic. Is he hurt? Is it bad? I think no news is okay for the moment. Let's see what we get. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.